Hello everybody and welcome to episode 60 of the Chesterfield of Dreams, and today will just be a very quick season review of how things have gone and how I plan to get along with season number 3 in the Premier League. It's obviously been even better than the last, which goes to show the second season syndrome I had feared was not such a big problem after all. But again, the work has to continue long into the summer if we're going to have this kind of glory again. But just to confirm once and for all how the league season has gone, Manchester United cruised to the championship after 104 goals scored, 7 points better off than their rivals Manchester City. Chelsea and Jose Mourinho have become one of the most successful pairings of all time, as the Portuguese is now ranked number 1 in the Hall of Fame. Liverpool eventually got their top 4 finish after a very dismal second half of the season. They managed to recover in the end. But look at that, 69 goals conceded by Liverpool. That is an appalling amount. If you want to look in greater detail how badly that makes them look there. They are the second worst defence in the entire season for a 4th place team. That's insane, and we'll hopefully look at that in greater detail very soon. Sunderland, congratulations, they are Europa League entrants courtesy of their 5th place, ahead of heavyweights Arsenal and the growing club Queen's Park Rangers. The top 10 was completed by Fulham, who were only promoted last season, and Watford and Swansea as well, 2 of the middle ground clubs punching above their weight. In 11th was Newcastle United. Tottenham, who won the Capital One Cup, are 12th, and myself and Chesterfield are 13th with 12 wins, 12 draws and 14 defeats, an improvement of 3 positions and 2 extra wins and draws, so that gave us the 48 points total. And then a fair way back we have Leicester City, Middlesbrough, the never relegated Everton. They saved their skin on the final day, and then West Bromwich Albion by a point and tied goal difference. So down we say goodbye to Sheffield United, Cardiff City and Aston Villa. So tragedy for those clubs, but they'll certainly bounce back next year, particularly Sheffield United, as they actually lost the FA Cup final. Can we take a look at their competitions? Yeah, so we'll scroll down and we'll see that they entered the FA Cup final, but they ended up runners-up. They were thrashed on the afternoon, and can't really take it away from Chelsea, to be honest. That's what got Mourinho the number 1 spot in Hall of Fame. So down go Sheffield United. And then coming up, the tables, the rankings will be Southampton, Norwich City and Huddersfield. So all 3 have had Premier League experience, including Huddersfield, if you want to just confirm that. They were relegated in the year 2020/21, and now after 2 seasons down, they are able to come back up, and no doubt Luke James is their hero. He's very valuable, and he's got a great wage packet, so expect plenty of him this season if he doesn't leave the club. So that's the Sky Bet Championship for you, with Blackpool, Luton and Colchester getting relegated. So commiserations to Hull, Derby and Blackburn, they're not coming up. And then in my old stomping grounds of League 1, we can see the MK Dons and Peterborough and Leeds United are coming up, with Bristol City, Carlisle and Rochdale going down. So that's disappointing for them. But let's just go into further detail on how my season ended. Just the 2 games after consigning Everton to defeat. It was a reverse of fortune, as we were soundly beaten by the Magpies by 2-0. You can see they were the dominant team. They deserved their win, but sadly Lee Griffiths, on his 201st and last appearance for Chesterfield, he missed from the penalty spot. So it was not the way we wanted to wave goodbye to the Scotsman, but unfortunately he doesn't want to stay at the club any longer, and we will honour his demands. And then on the last day we have an Arsenal thriller at the Emirates to talk about, and you can see Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain huffed and puffed and then got the door blown in, and he made it 1-0. So that was the scoreline at half time, before the man we needed to see a goal from, Michael Henning, got the job done in the 68th minute. So his very first goal after more than an entire season trying. So well done to him. But all of a sudden, Jacob Woolley put the Gunners back ahead, and then we equalised straight away. Vladimir Dergachev looked to have sealed the points for Arsenal, and that would have got him 5th place, I think, or 6th, I'm not too sure. But it was Dial Fry, his first of the season as well, getting in from a set piece and ensuring a thrilling final day singular point. So I was absolutely delighted with that, and it was just hopefully we can repeat that sort of thing next season, but certainly I want to keep the goals down. So there you go, there's one last look at the Premier League if you need to see it again. Our finances are good again. We've eventually made a profit, but compared to last season it was actually a bit of a loss since we went quite wild in the transfer market. But we still have a good turnover of 119 million, expenditure 114 million, and then the wage bill went up to 58 million, and the transfer budget was negative 14 million. So we made a loss that year, but we are now getting well and truly towards a positive bank balance. You can see it there, we're going up and up and up. It was a slow decline for a good while anyway, but the fact that we're nowhere near debt anymore is a big relief. And just in terms of transfer business, the things I'd like to improve are my centre backs and possibly more strikers. That would be fantastic. Maybe 1 or 2 midfielders as well, but unfortunately one of my best regens didn't get the game time he felt he deserved, and he's agreed a deal to sign with the Bees of Brentford. So he's in the Sky Bet Championship again, where he had a glittering few seasons, making his way up from the academy, but unfortunately it was time to say goodbye to the resolute and versatile defender. He just had enough. He could have possibly stayed as backup, but he didn't want to, and I think we can replace him. Noe Baba, of course, he's going to go as well, so we have to find 2 centre backs for the first team. As I previously mentioned, Matthew Targett and Ollie Banks also want to leave the club. For the latter, it's a real shame as he's so close to a testimonial, but I can't really disagree with him. He's had a bad season, stuck mainly on the bench and sporadic play, but I can't really disagree with him. And then I think we'll be happy with that. Maybe Ronnie Pino can go out on loan, or maybe sell him, because we need to make room for a third goalkeeper. And then we need a left back as well. Ben Wagstaff will hopefully stay at the club, as will Callum Powell. I won't be able to buy either player directly from our rivals, I'm pretty sure of that. But with Lee Griffiths going and Michael Henning, I want to see him improve, but maybe we'll have to send him out on loan to have that occur. But Tomas Forza and Yara Messa are absolutely fine. They can stay, no bother. Tom Bertram, Kenji Gore, both good enough this season in my opinion. They've earned their stripes. And Rasmus Stephenson, as you know about him, he's been outstanding. Kostas Trantafilopoulos, I have no plans on letting go of him, even though he had a pretty poor season. I think he can provide the experience we need. But well done to Jakob Brunner, proving that he is worthy of staying at the club despite having to sit on the bench for more than half the year until he got his chance. So even though Linus Muller was an outstanding buy, I'm glad that 2 Swedes will have some proper competition next season. So we need to take a look at the stats, see who did well and who didn't one last time. So let's just take a look at the overall. Of course, Yara Messa is the man, the myth, the legend. He's reached nearly 20 goals for the 3rd season out of a possible 3, which is truly remarkable stuff. But unfortunately he didn't get as many starts as he would have liked this season, but he still managed to come up with 17 goals plus 1 in the cup. Tomas Forza was more generous with his play, but he got 7 goals in a reasonably good season. Stephen Kinsella, you saw him score against Everton and refused to celebrate, but he got 4 goals overall this season. Tom Bertram was one of the great assistants this season, but he managed 3 goals, and then everyone else from Syra down to Kenji Gore all scored at least twice. So fantastic to see so many players scoring. And as I mentioned, Tom Bertram 10 assists, Kenji Gore also getting among the assists with 6. Wagstaff and Sean Kavanagh on the left hand side got 5 each. Henning, Stephenson with 2, and then Mesa all the way down to Loftus-Cheek with 1 assist. Man of the Match awards, Mesa on 3, Forza 2, and then Bertram, Wagstaff, Kinsella, Syra, Powell, Shanahan, Loftus-Cheek, Brian Boring all with 1. And then average ratings, Stephenson with 7.13, Yarimessa 7.07, Wagstaff 6.96, Kenji Gore 6.94, and Callum Cook, he really raised the occasion after a difficult injury period, wrecked his pre-season. He got 6.9, Dial Fry 6.89, and Brian Boring, who won an award at the end of last month, got 6.88. But down at the bottom, Matthew Target, Ollie Banks, Michael Henning, Ronnie Pino and Trent Tafiopoulos were the worst players. But in fairness, Lee Griffiths didn't play that often and didn't do that much better. But I'd like to see improvements from Sean Kavanagh and Brian Lenihan. They're my experienced wing backs or full backs, and they only got 6.70 after more than 20 games this season. And then you can see David Shanahan is an unsung hero. He did very well in his first season. Can't wait to see more from the 23-year-old. And then Linus Muller, 6.75, and he managed, I'll have to check out his clean sheets. He got 4 in the league this season, which is a lot less than the 11 he was able for last year, which is a shame. But Jakob Brunner, as I mentioned, deserves plenty of praise for his 5 clean sheets in 16 league appearances. He only conceded 17 goals, so that goes to show how good he is even after so many months off the first team. And most appearances, Anthony Syra managed 32, which is excellent considering it is his first season. Sean Kavanagh, 27 plus 1 substitute. Loftus-Cheek, 25 starts. Yair Messa, 23 starts with 5 substitute appearances. David Shanahan, 23 starts. Linus Muller, 22. Stephenson, 21 plus 1. And Callum Powell, 21. Stephen Kinsella, 20 plus 8. Lenihan, 20 plus 3. And Dial Fry with exactly 20. So plenty of players getting their fair share of appearances. I tend to be very generous with my rotations, but everyone got their fair chance, and some did much better than others. So let's not forget about Yair Messa. He actually won an award, the PFA Young Player of the Year, and that is a wonderful indictment for the captain, because you can see there's a great Hall of Fame here since we started the save. We've got Christian Eriksen, Raheem Sterling. Obviously he's had a big day in his life today, whether or not you like it. Yeah, it is pretty unfortunate. But you can see also we've got Giovanni Simeone and the one of the most popular wonder kids in this game, Patrick Roberts. He won the award 2 years ago, and then the first regens to win it, Carl Barker for last year, and then of course Messa this year. So it is the regen era coming up now, so we have to get as many in as we possibly can, because we are letting go of all the good ones we've had. But hopefully by next year our youth facilities will attract some of the best young prospects in Europe and maybe even the world, but it's a long way from that. We have to get through pre-season. You can see the facilities are pretty poor. They're only adequate and average, so we have to improve them, and they will be improved, but it depends how much more we can improve, because if you judge by our stadium, we're actually getting another 804 seats, which, my goodness, that's incredible. The Proac Stadium, as if it needed any more, is going to be borderline 21,000 seater. It's not big by Premier League standards, but I don't care. It deserves every single fan that can possibly buy a ticket. And one last piece of news before I go and delve in the transfer market. Our under-21s have won yet again. They are the champions of the English under-21s Group 2, courtesy of a 2-0 win in the final against Norwich, and of course the still recovering from his injury, Yair Messa got the job done. But if you've never met my under 21 manager before, please let me give you the opportunity to introduce you to him now. Scott Gooding, 40 years old now. He hasn't even got his Continental A license, and he's got once more outstanding stats, like very little of below 10, especially in his coaching. So obviously you must be thinking, why haven't you given this guy the assistant manager's job yet? Because he's obviously got a job for life, and you have to give him a promotion when the time is suitable. But unfortunately I still have a pretty good assistant manager. Maybe in hindsight I should have given him the job instead. But my assistant manager is, where is he now? There he is, Gerald Eiffel. He's got pretty solid stats as well, and he has his pro license. So my way of thinking is Eiffel deserves this job for as long as he can. But if Gooding gets his Continental badge, I think he will be in line to be my assistant manager without any doubt. But it goes to show he's been a phenomenally successful coach, and if he does leave for a full managerial role, then I wish him every success in that department. He is truly outstanding, one of the best I've ever seen, from obscurity all the way to I can't think of the word, a budding career, that's what I'll say. But he's been here for nearly 3,000 days, and that is oh no, he hasn't actually. I mean, he's been here since 2015, so that is a great time, and he's on his way to immortality, in my opinion. But that pretty much concludes this episode, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. So next season is as big as it gets, really. I know season 2 is the one that counted, but I really want to see us win a trophy. I haven't done it since my very first season, and getting dumped out of the FA Cup was the only disappointment this season. But we really do want to think about some sort of trophies, because that's what's going to get us into Europe, because getting 5th place is an impossibility at this moment in time. However, I have every confidence of doing another worry-free season. We can get more than 12 wins, I've no doubt about that. And with only -9 goal difference, we have one of the best defences that we can possibly have. And with the extra money in the transfer kitty, there's no reason why we can't get the players we want. But apart from that, that is it for 100% definite. I really hope you enjoyed, and we'll speak to you again as I make my transfer window a reality. So bye for now, everybody.